We often like to be right. Why? Because if we are wrong, well, we're a failure. This is what we tell ourselves, at least. And this can keep us in unhealthy relationships, taking on bad habits, and prevent us from learning and growing and upskilling ourselves when we receive feedback in terms of our abilities. So, this is a common phenomenon we all share. It's called cognitive dissonance. And I'd like to share with you an example as to how it works. And also, we can explore some strategies on how to break free from this trap. So let's say you receive feedback on a presentation you gave, and the feedback says, well, you need to have more clarity in how you present. You strongly believe that it's effective because you spent a lot of time preparing for the presentation, and even some of your colleagues said it was great. Now, this difference between the feedback and your belief system, which contradict each other, creates a gap. And within this gap, there's discomfort, and we don't like discomfort. So, how do we remove that gap, that discomfort? We either discredit the information or we do whatever we can to minimize its impact on how we feel. So, let's explore how we do this. The first is dismissing the feedback source. You might question the credibility of the person giving the feedback. For instance, you might think, they don't understand my style of presentation. They never given presentations themselves, so they don't know what they're talking about. The second is minimizing the importance of feedback. You might downplay the significance of the feedback by telling yourself, well, this is just one person's opinion. Most people seem to like my slides, so this feedback doesn't really matter. And the third is blaming external factors. You might attribute the feedback to external factors rather than accepting it as valid criticism. For example, you might say, maybe they're having a bad day, and that's why they're nitpicking about the presentation. It's not really about me. By reinterpreting the feedback in these ways, we can avoid the possibility that our presentation actually needed improvement. Instead of considering this feedback as potential to learn, we create excuses to hold on to our beliefs and protect our ego identity. So let's explore how we can break free from this cognitive dissonance. The first is changing your existing beliefs. This means being open to the idea that what you thought before might not be entirely right. For example, you might have believed your presentation slides were perfect, but after getting feedback, you might realize there's room for improvement. Number two is adding new beliefs. This involves considering new thoughts or ideas that might help you understand the feedback better. It's like opening your mind to different possibilities. For instance, even if your slides worked well before, you might think about ways to make them even better. Number three is reducing the importance of beliefs. This means not taking your own beliefs too seriously all the time. Sometimes we need to be flexible and consider that other people's opinions might be helpful. So even if you think your presentation was great, it's okay to listen to others and see how you can improve on it. Now, it does require that you learn to accept discomfort as you work through cognitive dissonance. I use this discomfort as a signal to let me know that I'm potentially going to make excuses and to defend myself. And through this awareness, I let go of these excuses and do my best to keep my mind open.